talking about Tom Cruise because he is in the news quite a bit lately. Um, First, we got the news that, excuse me, he I guess signed this deal with Warner Brothers where he's kind of getting his own space, like his own lot where they're gonna film movies. He's getting his own office, and he's gonna start developing um,
Original ideas.
original right films that he will be the lead star in, and yes, exclusively for Warner Brothers. Um, I don't know if that's a sign of desperation from them or just like, hey, this is a pretty smart move because I do think it's a smart move. Tom Cruise, like 90% of the time, is like a box office guarantee. Um,
Well, I will
but
say though, did
yeah,
you
the
know?
last movie.
No,
Yeah.
did you know that Tom Cruise up until Top Gun Maverick had never even been a part of a billion-dollar film?
Wow, I did not know that. That's
That
interesting.
was his first and only billion-dollar film. Like he does do a
Okay.
draw, but it's not that
It's
actual
not like
significant.
a crazy draw, right?
Right.
That's interesting. Um, well, regardless, the it was announced that the that Warner Brothers, well, reportedly would like him to develop an Edge of Tomorrow 2.
Which I think a
Um,
lot of people would like, and they've been
I would
saying it.
love that.
But I think,
Yeah.
and I think they were going to, and then what happened was that Emily Blunt's schedule just like wouldn't happen, and it just continuously kept not happening, and
Right, right.
that's what
Because I want
happened.
to say the script was written at one point for a sequel, but it just
Yeah,
never.
and that's
Yeah,
why they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do it,"
right,
and then it just never lined
right.
up.
So yeah, maybe that'll be brought to Warner Brothers and they can try and get that going. Um, did I think the only but besides his deal with Warner Brothers, um, he is like confirmed, I guess, now making a Top Gun 3 movie. Um, it's confirmed that Miles Teller and Glenn Powell will be returning for that. Um, I'm a little torn about this because I do think you really only need those two Top Gun movies. I don't think you really need a third one. Um,
But how can you not, after being, first of all, being the guy pretty much known by most people as saving movies, right? Movie studios, the movie
sure,
going experience. To
sure.
most people, he's, when you think of like movies, going back to the movies, you think Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun
Um,
was the first, yeah.
and they made like $1.5 billion.
Yeah, I guess my thing is like Maverick's storyline to me is done. Like he's done what he needed to do, and I think this story now needs to focus on Miles' character and Glenn's character. Um,
I mean, I'm sure somebody could do it, but I wonder where you even go, you know?
I honestly don't.
I feel
Um,
like it was like you said, like you just need the one and the two, but
Yeah, it's a really great two-part story. I mean, it's and I hate to kind of compare Top Gun to Red Dead, but it's like it's why like I keep having these conversations with some of my friends where I'm just like I I would love like another movie in that universe or another game in that universe, but that's a perfect two-part story. Like I don't need anything else added onto that. And that's kind of how I feel about Top Gun. Um, so yeah, am I excited to see that? I mean, that kind of a movie again? Yeah, because it was fun as hell, and it was probably one of my favorite movies of that year. Um, but yeah, I don't think I need it to be honest. So I'd rather see Edge of Tomorrow 2 get developed first, but
so
that's just me.
couple interesting things I was reading about this. So we have this deal with Warner Brothers, right? Gets
Yeah.
get to make a bunch of exclusive movies for Warner Brothers original ideas, and they want to do Edge of Tomorrow too. Well, you would think with if they're also this news coming out about a Top Gun 3 being developed with Paramount,
Yeah.
that why would he want to do that? He made $1.5 billion for Paramount, and he's doing his Mission Impossible movies with them. Well, apparently, two things. There
Mhm.
was a lot of tension with the Top Gun Maverick side of things, where there were a lot of reshoots. It was originally
Really? Wow.
yeah, there was a lot of it was originally supposed to come out the year before, That didn't happen. Pandemic happened, and then it eventually came out.
So, but from what I hear, he's still developing this with Paramount. He's not developing this with Warner Brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
So the other thing is the handling, the release and budgeting issues of the most recent Mission Impossible movie also caused a lot of tension. And so it's possible that there may only be part 2, and that's the end of the Mission Impossible movies.
So there's news on that came out today, by the way.
What's that?
Dead Reckoning Part 1 has officially been retitled to just Dead Reckoning. So there won't be a Part 2 now. Yeah.
I thought they shot both.
No, they did not.
Well, I've not seen it, so I don't know.
I haven't seen it either. Yeah.
If that's unsatisfying.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the villains of it like weren't the most satisfying. So maybe that's why there was like semi-low box office numbers. I just do think it came out at a bad time.
But it also like all the IMAX. That's what he was complaining about, like the IMAX screens, the release of it. It didn't.
Yeah.
And that's partially why it didn't do so well.
Right.
So it might be
I
that
think it could have easily made like 200 million more like dollars if it came out at a better time.
Sure. And I think that it's possible that Top Gun Maverick 3 is maybe a way to try to smooth things over and maintain a good relationship with him. But even with all that speculation, I think this is a win for Warner Brothers because they have
huge.
They get to have one of the most well-known and drawable celebrities and actors in one of their movies, and developing new material, which is always a good thing, I think, for the most part. And also because they have not been in, having the guy who brought back movies and movie theaters into business might be a good look after just kind of cutting off movies for tax write-offs and taking things off. And to a certain extent, I understand why they did that. Some of it I'm also very upset about. So but it's a good thing. I think it's a win-win. Tom Cruise gets to make a bunch of stuff. Warner Brothers gets Tom Cruise. And I think it's hopefully we get an Edge of Tomorrow too. And
I think what I'm kind of most excited about though is to see Tom Cruise star in something that's not one of his like top franchises.
Right. It's just been like I think Mission Impossible,
Top Gun.
What else?
Gosh, what else has he done recently? I feel like I can't even name anything. The only thing that's coming to mind that's even semi-recent. Man, I didn't even watch it. Was he in he wasn't in Tropic Thunder, was he?
Yeah.
He was.
He was Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder.
I'm looking him up right now.
Jack Reacher, The Mummy.
He did do 2 Jack Reacher movies, and he did that Mummy movie.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Look, the first Jack Reacher was good. Even though he's probably not the right role, like he's not the right fit for that role.
Mm-hmm.
And Mummy didn't do well, so those aren't original like properties for him. Those are based off of a book and a remake of another movie. So I think I'm curious to see what he comes up with to star in as a lead.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I think one of the last like original things that he was in might have been Oblivion. There was also
when was that?
2013. And then
then
besides that, a year later was Edge of Tomorrow. And then after that, it was like Mummy, Mission Impossible Fallout, not too many like other things.
Rock
honestly.
of Ages.
Yeah.
I remember liking Night and Day, if you remember that movie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that one, honestly.
Yeah, isn't that Cameron Diaz, I think?
Yeah.
That's in it with him? Yeah. Well, so we'll see. We'll see what he comes up with. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.